Recording comes out, elected officials calling black people racial slurs, talking about wanting to lynch, wanting to kill, wanting to eliminate. And also, obviously, they know hitmen. I mean, it's Oklahoma. Let's go to the recording because now we got at least one resignation, maybe more. Here it is.
They're insignificant in my life.
Yes.
Really, they bring that
No saying is, you know.
What goes around goes around.
It will. I told you it will.
Yeah.
I know where two big deep holes are if you ever need them.
I got an excavator.
These are already pre-dug. But the thing of it is, you know,
We actually told the truth.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that were very quiet guys
Yeah,
and would cut no mercy
yeah,
in Louisiana because it was all mafia around
Yeah.
Oh,
Louisiana.
yeah.
yeah. But here's the reality: if the hair on his wife's head, Chris Willingham's head, or any of those people that really were behind all that, if the hair on their head got touched by anybody, who would be the bad guys?
Who
Yeah.
you blamed for?
Yeah.
I heard the other day said, I heard 10 or 12 people going to the sheriff. I said, let's get 20. They don't have a goddamn clue what they're getting into.
Oh, yeah,
Not this
because
day
it's
and
all,
age.
it's but everybody.
I'm gonna tell you something. If it was back in the day, would they, like when Alan Marshall take a damn blackjack, whoop their ass, and throw them in the cell, I'd run for sheriff.
Yeah. Well, it's not like that no more.
I know. Take them down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with the damn rope.
Yeah.
But you can't
And
do
the
that.
thing about it is,
They got more rights than we got.
Oh, sir. You know, I'm going to enjoy this. Put them all up. We got one who has resigned. To the other 2 who remain, do so at your own political peril, because I let nothing go. You are in a position of political decision making, which is policy. That policy adversely impacts those you're racist against. Mark Jennings, the Oklahoma official who spewed the racist vitriol about hanging black community members. Also, he mentioned hiring a hitman, has now been the first of 3 members recorded to resign. You still have 2 who are active. We'll get into that in a moment. Let's put up the resignation letter. All right, there it is. He literally wrote a letter. McCurtain County Sheriff's Office released a statement touting the covertly obtained recording as the highlighted offense, rather than officials contemplating trying to kill citizens, and calling hitmen upon reporters. The officials were also defended as victims. Let's put it up. Okay. Now, what did they say? So the county sheriff's office says, and I quote, the last 72 hours have been amongst the most difficult and disruptive in recent memory. This is a very complex situation and one we regret having to address. There is and has been an ongoing investigation into multiple significant violations of the Oklahoma Security Communications Act, Title 13, Chapter 176.3 and 176.4, which states that it is illegal to secretly record a conversation in which you are not involved and do not have the consent of at least one of the involved parties. They are more concerned about some ridiculous statute that, by the way, many states don't have it that way, but this state does. So he's upset, the sheriff. Somebody recorded him. He doesn't care that people are talking about killing folk who are in position to actually do it. There's more. Additionally, their claims of audio manipulation, all right, that's what they were claiming, are bewildering, many considering a corrupt history, which has now sparked outrage. Let's put it up. Willingham is seeking damages from the McCurtain County Commission. Now, who is this person? This individual is from the county as a reporter, a journalist, okay? The Gazette reporter. And McCurtain, the county Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Kevin Clardy and Sheriff's Investigator Alicia Manning, the newspaper's investigation covered several topics, including allegations of malfeasance. They're writing about the elected officials. So there's an allegation of malfeasance at the Sheriff's Office, along with their reported refusal to disclose public crime reports to Willingham. When he asked for information about the death of Bobby Barrick, he cited difficulties by the newspaper in obtaining basic reports and received limited documentation. That is against the law. That is against the law. That is a violation of not only their state statute, it is a violation of federal law. Okay? There's more. Let me give you more details about the actual allegation of corruption. All right? The lawsuit claims that Clardy and Manning began investigating which office employees were speaking to the newspaper. Once again, concerned about the wrong damn thing, okay? And were attempting to get a search warrant for the phone of Mr. Willingham. The sheriff reportedly threatened to fire anyone who talks to the reporter. Willingham's lawsuit also alleges that Manning, who is third in command at the sheriff's office, unlawfully retaliated against him over the articles about the malfeasance allegations. And the petition claims that she allegedly slandered him, saying that Willingham exchanged marijuana for sexually explicit images of children from a man who had been arrested on child sex abuse image charges. Willingham's lawsuit says those statements are both false and slanderous. So on the heels of the remarks and the lawsuit, we have more, all right? There was a community public meeting. We are asking for the resignations of the following people because of their actions taken, because of the audio, and because of their failure to lead, and because of the trust that is involved in this community, and because they are not holding themselves or being held to a higher standard. We're asking for the resignations of one Alicia Manning, one Kevin Clardy, one Mark Jennings, one Larry Hendrix, and one Robert Beck, according to Watson. Now, this is more dangerous than you can probably imagine. While some may look at this as individuals engaged in a private conversation and it should be left private, please understand these folks have public positions, positions of high public trust. You give someone a gun and a badge and immunity, and they are flagrantly racist, that is a problem. You put somebody in a position of policy authority, they can do damage that cannot be unraveled for 100 years based on policy. And at the same time, gaslighting you, telling you this has nothing to do with race, this has nothing to do with bigotry, this has nothing to do with bias, all while passing laws adverse to communities of color. Well, now we have it on record. The sheriff's office, they're more concerned about the protocol of how it got on record. That's what an attorney is for, Cheryl, not you. You heard people plotting to commit crimes against citizens. That's what you heard. But instead of taking that investigation to the natural conclusion, you're citing a law that should only be cited in the rules of evidence for court, not a charge. All right. My dear sister, you have law school under your belt too. Do I see this wrong?
No, I think you see it exactly right as far as that goes. And I really think that the reason they're pushing this narrative is that, the recording was obtained illegally, it should never be made public, is really because the contents of the tape are indefensible. They have to, try to change the conversation, because if they have to have a conversation about what was said in that room, there's no way they come out on top of that. They will always look horrible. And at the end, they're only making themselves look more horrible, in my opinion, by protecting what was said in that room. But I also think that the story goes a long way in undermining the narrative that the police are there to serve and protect the public. They're there to serve and protect themselves, because when we see these instances where information that should be known to the public is put out, the police are quick to attack the journalists providing that information, And they're quick to crack down even within their own ranks on the individuals who are speaking out against the corruption within the police department. So even the thin blue line narrative, comes into question. Or they're not even willing to protect one another if they think though that person is insufficiently loyal to what is the racist institution of policing in America.
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic?